You got a terrible trip.
You stable it up.
You stable him up.
You stable it up.
No, you stable him up.
Stable it up.
Stable it up. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to our Stable 'em Up edition here over at RacingDudes.com. Patna gets the job done yesterday for us, which was wonderful. Got a 2-to-1 price, nice, easy single in a tough race. So excited we got the first winner home here. We're going to go off the beaten path a little bit. We're going to go over to Laurel Park. I found another horse that I'm going to stable up yesterday. He's playing some tournaments. And before we talk about or show the actual trip, I want to talk a little bit about the horse, kind of how I got to it, because it was a long shot yesterday that I think is going to run back on the turf. That'll probably look pretty solid. So we're going to head over to Laurel Park's 6th race yesterday, which was April 28th, Thursday. We're going to look at the 11 horse, FERMAT. This horse is one of those where when I took a look at the past performances, I think the first thing that jumps out is we're getting back onto turf. So this was a mile race on turf or over at Laurel Park. If you look back at those races at Pimlico and Laurel on the turf, that was clearly where we saw the best efforts from this horse. Then we come back off the layoff here as a 4-year-old, goes 6 furlongs. Look, no interest in sprinting on the dirt. That's not what this horse wants to do. Clearly that race was a setup here for the second off the layoff. So if you're looking for long shots, good way to look for it is notice the back buyers on the turf and then the kind of the setup from the trainer here. So the other thing that's important is this horse is pace dependent. So fortunately, we did get a nice pace setup in this race. So I'm going to be stabling up FERMAT. I'm going to look for a turf start next time out, and specifically if there's some pace in it. So now let's go over to the race and kind of what I'm looking for here from a horse when I'm stabling him up. So we're going to play this out, and you can kind of see right out of the break here, the 11 horse is going to be able to get over toward the rail, which is key. You're also going to see quite a bit of pace. I mentioned that. So when I am stabling up a horse like this, I'm going to still look at the race. Patna was pretty much playing back this horse no matter what. Here with FERMAT, I'm going to play back this horse if we get on the turf again. I think that's key. I'm happy with anywhere from a mile to a mile and 1/8 for this horse. I also want to make sure there's a little bit of pace. But if you note here, and speed was very good this day on the turf. That's the other key. Even the 2-horse years, 9-2 as a runaway leader. These are the least interesting leaders to me. When a horse gets up 5-6 lengths, generally they're going to fade and quit. 23 for the opening quarter. That's pretty fast over Laurel Park's turf. You can see the 11 is sitting right here. So we're sitting on the rail, third to last right now. And when you see this pace kind of set up here, you're going to note that we're going to go quick again, 47 and change. Again, pretty fast for this level at Laurel Park. And when we go into the far turn, you can start to see the horses kind of bunch up. It's important because note that the 2 does not quit here. I'm sorry, 46 and 2. Note that the 2 does not quit here. He actually ends up running third in this race. So even with this fast pace, the turf course is playing toward horses coming up, staying on the pace. You'll note the 11 starts to make this massive move. And this is just a bad decision by the jockey. We try and split horses here, and all of a sudden you can see we're checking. So the 11 has to check here in the black silks, and it gets kind of trapped in. Now we're going to turn to the top, and look, we got no room between the 8 and the 3 there. Bump in and out of the 3, and now this is what I like about this. You could just stop here normally. If you're the 11 horse, you're not going to make any type of run. Look at this effort he makes. No one else is closing. And look at this effort that the 11 makes after the bump. To me, that is the big-time key. Horse comes absolutely flying once he gets loose. Just misses getting up for the show there. Loses kind of a brutal photo. So let's take a look one more time here at the trouble that we had in the far turn. We're joining this right around the half-mile post. You can see that the 2 horses still pulling away. Really the mistake here is the 11's jockey. If we go wide, we're going to win this race. If we get a split, we're going to win this race. But that decision-making really hurt it. I expect that you're going to be able to see this horse come back and run huge. Hopefully we can get somewhere near that 15-1 price we were on this day. Again, here you can see the 11 kind of making this move right here in the black silks. We are already checking here mid-turn, and then we're going to try and find a split. And you'll see the bumping with the 3 horse and the issue with the 8 horse once again. So yeah, this is just kind of brutal here, not able to get through. And again, I love it that when we actually do get through, only 1 horse is running. Generally at this level, if you get stopped, you're not making this re-rally. This is a spot where we got stopped, and we still made this re-rally. We're the only horse closing fast. So I am going to stable up the 11 horse here. I think it makes a ton of sense to stable him up, and hopefully again. The key here is next time out, we're going to try and get FERMAT on the turf. We're going to try and get between a mile and a mile and 1/8, and we need a little bit of speed. If we get all of those elements together, then I think this is an awfully live horse next time, hopefully at a decent price, who's coming out of a pretty tough trip. Third off the layoff should also be a positive. Thank you very much for joining me here for the second edition of Stable 'em Up. Hopefully we can get another winner here in FERMAT, and hopefully a little bit bigger of a price. I think it's important, too, to note, you can't just be stabling up these horses like Patna, who's a second-time starter, who, got a little bit of steam. 2-1 was still a pretty good price, but a second-time starter that got a little steam. You got to look at some of these lower levels, too, because this type of horse is much more likely to come back at a big price next time versus a horse like Patna, who is probably going to get bet out of that debut. So stable up FERMAT over at Laurel Park. Hopefully get back on the turf. Hopefully got another winner. Make sure you're checking out racingdudes.com for all of your horse racing needs. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube for more videos just like this and continued coverage up to the Kentucky Derby.
This has been a presentation of racingdudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels. Never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,